Donald Trump this morning in front of the courthouse in New York went out and you know, lied his teeth off. He's just lied his ass off, I guess is the phrase. The one thing that he said was true is that this is absolutely unprecedented. Never before has an American president been prosecuted, criminally prosecuted, for anything. Now, never before has America had a criminal as a president, with the single exception of Richard Nixon, who resigned to avoid criminal prosecution, just like his vice president, Spiro Agnew, did. Spiro Agnew had been taking bribes while in the White House. Nixon had been taking over $1 million in bribes. We know about the bribes from the milk lobby. We know about the bribes from Jimmy Hoffa. You know, cash. Jimmy Hoffa walked into the White House with $500,000 in a briefcase. The milk lobby brought Nixon $1 million, as I recall. Might have been a half. And there were apparently other bribes as well. That wasn't what Nixon got nailed for, of course. It was illegally wiretapping the Democratic National Committee's headquarters at the Watergate. But Nixon set the model for modern-day Republican presidents. Nixon committed treason by blowing up the Vietnam peace talks in 1968 in order to become president. So then Reagan committed treason by cutting a deal with the Ayatollahs in Iran to hold the hostages, which crippled Jimmy Carter and led to Reagan being elected in 1980. And then George W. Bush was elected in 2000 after his brother removed 92,000 African Americans from the voting rolls, or 94,000. You'd have to ask Greg Palast for the exact number. He's the one who found it, from the voting rolls in Florida. And, you know, so you've got another illegitimate Republican president. And of course, Donald Trump lost by 3 million votes and only reached the White House because of help from Russia. So, you know, there you go, 4 illegitimate Republican presidents. And, of course, their successors, Jerry Ford and George Herbert Walker Bush, only in office because of the illegitimate actions of their predecessors. So that was the one truth that Trump told. But, you know, what's going on here, this case, the details of it, you know, pretty straightforward. And it is a big deal. In New York State, it is not illegal well, it is illegal, excuse me. It's not a felony to, you know, illegally mess with your books, to hide payments, for example, to a porn star as if they were business expenses. You typically don't go to jail for that. You pay huge fines for it. It's a misdemeanor. But if you do that in the furtherance of another crime, even if you're not being prosecuted for that crime, then it does become a felony. And this is where it gets really interesting, because Alvin Bragg doesn't have to prove the election interference part.